Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, ma'am.
Uh, so let's start. Okay. So, so today we are going to work with files. As a bioinformatics student, you need some files like to work with that file, like analysis purpose for manipulation. So that files in different types, different forms. Like if you're working with sequence file, then dot fasta file is there, dot fastq is there, even advanced file format like bed file, vcf file, right? So different data format we need to work. Even simple file like text file. Then if you're working with tabular data, then there is a csv file, excel file. So first thing, when we want to work with these all kinds of file, we need to fetch that file in environment, and that is nothing but data importing. And after importing, we can perform some analysis, some manipulation, and then we can again restore back to the source, right? So this is all about file handling, or simply data import export. So for that, in this environment, some files are already given for demo purpose. You can open this icon, files icon. Here you'll get this sample data, the default data set. If you double click on this, you'll get these are files here, like some json files are there, csv files, and these many files are there. And if you want to work with some other files which you have, so that you can import, like you can click here, upload to the station storage, and then you can interact with your system. From here you can open the files, like these different types of file I have fetched here. Fasta file, sequence file, then this is a text file but it contains sequence. This is csv file format. If you want to check the content of the file, simply double click on this file, it will open in a new window. Okay, like this is some demo data, class a and class b, and their score I think only 10 rows are there. Okay, 10 entries, so this is small data. Even this one, sequence file, protein sequence for homo sapien, you can see this is accession id, and there are few 10 lines. So this is very short sequence I've fetched just for demo purpose. So this way you can also import some files if you have, or we can directly create file here itself. This is one method by using graphical user interface. So just click, suppose we want to create some let's create faster file, example.faster, like this. So it will generate. Now next thing, how to import the file. And after that, first important thing, when we work with any file, after importing, we can do three types of mode we can operate. Like either we can, first thing, open a file. After opening, read that file just for reading purpose. If you learn the uh, ch mode, what all options are there for any file, like read, write, right? In linux, when you open by using ls-l, you'll get list of files along with their commands, like read, what options are there. So this is the thing: read just for reading, write if you want to write something in that file. Either you can create new file and you can write content, otherwise you can open any existing file and then write the content. But you open any existing file, then when you are using write mode, then existing data will, there's a chance to lost, okay, lost that data. So better when you want to edit something, so you can use update mode. Read, write, and update means there is a append mode. So append means you can append new content at the end of existing file content. Okay, so these three modes are there. Along with this, if you want to perform more than one mode, like along with reading, simultaneously if you want to read and write, so you can use read plus and write plus, then there is append plus. So these are also different modes. And then save back to the system again. So let's see how to use these all things. So first thing, whenever we are using open function. Now open is a function, so function comes with parenthesis, and here you can pass parameters. So you can read here. First thing, file means which file you want to open, that we have to mention. Second parameter given is mode, in which mode you want to open that file, either read, write, append, or any read plus and all. Then these are other extra parameters which is not mandatory, but yeah, file name must be there, because what we have to open, that we have to mention here. Okay, so the open is basically, this is very safer way when you want to open file. And if we are using with keyword, so there is a with keyword like this is also keyword. So when we are using open with keyword, then it automatically close the file once the block inside whatever we have written, that the statements that are executed, then it will close. No need to close explicitly by using close or function. We need not need to use. Okay, so let's see one of this file we can use, or you can create a demo file and just write some lines. Suppose here there is a file and we want to write something in that file by using, I'm not here writing using command line interface. We are just graphically use open this file and then we can write. Suppose this is a FASTA file, we consider this dot FASTA. So let's write something. Suppose this is regarding sequence 1, homo sapien. You can write details. Okay, so these are few lines I have written here. You can save this, close this. Okay, so this is the content of file. Like this you can create a text file or FASTA file. Now let's, okay, we'll one more thing, one more concept is there, that is called as a handle. So handle means what? Handle is basically when we open any file in this environment, so whenever we need that file multiple times, we can call by handle of that file. Like simply this is nothing but variable. So that variable stored that file, like variable stored value xyz, variables some stored the numerical value, string value. Similarly here, handle is a concept to store the file, a whole file. Okay, so file handling, let's revise. File handling includes reading, writing, and creating as well. And we can use here open function. So open with two arguments, first name of the file and second mode of the file. Okay, so let's create, let's first handle is clear. So file variable is nothing but handle. Don't confuse in that word. So this is just a variable to hold file. So here I am creating one handle called as a file. So in that handle, let's open fetch some file from existing. So if you want to write or just want to type as it is, you can type it. Or if you want to avoid a spelling mistake or just want the exact path, then just right click on this file, copy path, come to here, paste the path. So this is inside content. Content is the parent directory over here, and inside parent directory we have this teen.txt. Even if you want to check for the sample, you can check it here. I'll just paste the path. Okay, so sample data is again inside content. Now inside this, or suppose if you want to generate any new file, new folder, and for that folder let me write it ngos10. Okay, so this is a folder, and inside this folder if we have created any demo file, so this will be like inside content there is ngos10 and then there is file existence. Okay, so this way you can use path. Okay, so let's uh, use the existing file which is here. Now if we just want to read the content of the file, then we can call print function. So what we want to print? First, we need to call which file you want to read, and that file exists in handle. So need to call this file, or this file we want to read. So call this read mode. That's it. Execute. You'll get content of the file here itself. So now let's open. Okay, here I forgot mode. So you can mention this way. So the first part is name of the file. Second part is mode of the how you want to open that file. Now let's open a file. For that, what we need here, I'm creating. If you have any file in some drive, so that also you can fetch by providing path. So let me write it here. File path. Suppose this is a variable, and here I can provide path. Like suppose in D drive there is some file I already have. Suppose I'm just providing like this. Okay, any folder path, or then you can provide file name. Suppose this file exists in that folder. So this way you can provide path, and then you can similarly use this open function to read the content of the file. Okay. Now, so R is basically default mode. Whenever you open any file, that opens in read mode itself. Okay. If you want to update or do some changes, then you can use write mode, append mode. So these all modes you can use. Now let's see what all things we can do with file. So this is one method, and but suppose I don't want to read all lines of this file. So at that time we can use different functions. Like here we call read function, file dot read. So when I want to read only first line, then I can use read line. Okay, let's see how to use this. Same way, first we need to create handle, then open a file, mention which file you want to open. So here you can provide the path of the file or directly write name of the file, then mode of the file, in which mode you want to open. So this is the first line. Come to the next line and execute. So let's execute only one line. So call this handle and call function read. You can see here read, readable, read line, read lines. So one by one we'll see. Read we already check. So for single line we can use read lines, not lines, line. Okay, so this is the first line. You can execute other. Okay, just try. Done. Okay, now again if I execute the same command like this, so I'm able to read second line of the file and so on. If you read this, so read will read your whole file, means the how many number of lines or number of characters are there, everything you are able to read. So it's nothing but read the entire content of the file. And when you use, if you, but in case if you want to provide any limit, like how many characters you want to read. So like suppose we want to read only first 10 characters. Okay, so here you can provide inside read number like 10. This way you can provide. So you can limit the number of characters. Again there is a readable. So readable basically when you want to check if the file is open in mode and that allows reading with suppose read or read plus. So it returns true if your file is readable, otherwise it will just show message false. And when you want to read single line from that file, just means line by line processing when you want to perform, that time prefer this read line. Okay, so here we have used this read lines. Now let me paste it here. Now I'm changing here read lines. So read lines means read all the lines in that file and return them as a list of string. So list of string means what? It contains as a string, like in quotes, one by one. Okay, so and as there are how many lines? Suppose there are 10 lines. So each line ends with hyphen n. Hyphen n means what? New line character. Okay, so let's execute this. You can see here new line character. And if you don't want this new line character, then there is one more function, that is strip. Okay, so the let's execute this strip then. Clear this. First is for reading and printing first line, then second line as well, by using same command. By using read lines, whole content of the file we can execute. And if we are not using with, then we have to close this file by using file dot close function. Okay. So it is closed now. Now, if you want to do this automatic process like without writing this file close, so you can use with keyword. So let's try with keyword. Same content or same file we can read just by changing the syntax. So with open, write the same file name, only format is different. Again here I'm adding read mode, but in this case we have created handle at the start and then we use assignment sign. Okay, is equal to sign. But here no need to use assignment sign, just write as keyword and then write handle name. So I'm using same handle, and end of first line by using colon. So with open as file. So here this file is nothing but handle, and that handle you can use multiple times. Like here we use file dot read lines, file dot close. Even uh, whenever we need that file, we can call by that handle. Now, as we want to read the file, so we need to iterate over each line in the file. And iteration process yesterday only we checked. So for iteration we can use keyword for. So let's create one variable as a iterator, and here we need to use in keyword inside file, because file is a handle. This is the line for, complete the line with colon. Come to the next line. When we iterate, what we want to do? We want to execute that content. So line is a iterator, and use here, either you can use read lines, but here I'm using strip. So it will print each line after removing the extra new line character, which is at the end of that line, right? So use strip line and then execute. So we'll get result is same. Okay, just let me execute this. Strip is function, so provide bracket and execute. Okay. So line dot strip, clear that point. It removes any leading or trailing white space or also new line characters from each line. So you will get only content without all this space or new line character. And here no need to use this file dot close function. So because it automatically close when we are using with keyword, it automatically close. So even if an error occurs, still it will close. Now let's see write mode. So here I'm creating handle first with, let's create one new name, because we don't want to write in existing file. If we write in existing file, then whatever content already there, it will removed or write. So better let's create new file. So when we are using write mode, either you can use existing file or you can create new file and write in that. So here we are creating new file. So this is new file. Let's create text file, simple, and use write mode as file. So I'm creating same handle file. So what we want to do? We want to write something. Previously we use read function, but now we want to write, so use write function. And here you can write what you want to write. So let's write a simply, this is a line That's it. Execute. Let's check file is generated or not. Still we are not getting. Yeah, it's here. If not getting, then just refresh this. Check what is there inside this file. So there is one line. Okay. Now if the same file I'm opening again, okay, here, sorry, this is our new file, but this time this is existing file. But I just want to write new line. This is new line. Okay. So let's see what happened. So the previous content is not here. This is a new content. So whatever data we have in this output.txt, we lost that. So just keep in mind whenever we are using write function, be careful because it is not reversible. Once it is lost, फिर नहीं मिलेगा. Fine. So better if you want to append something or add some new content in existing file. So try append mode, not write mode. Okay. Otherwise, you can create such kind of demo files and then try. Okay. Now, in the same line, if I want to write something new, like this is new line, and let's add something. So let's see what happened. Okay. Here we are getting new line, and this is another line. All are in same line. So what we can do, either we can write new line character here. If you don't want here, then you can write it here. So either second line start from second new line, or first line, after first line you can enter into or just write new content on the new line. So any one method you can apply. Okay, like this. Now let's create one more file and write hello or any string you can write in that. Create one file in a write mode and write some content, or multiple lines you can write. So here I'm using append mode with existing file because we already have some content. These two lines we already have. Now new lines we can write it here. Okay. So as we are adding new line, so let's start with a new line. That's why we need to write this -n at the start. So it will add new text as a new line in the existing file. Hope you're getting. Okay, like this. Okay, files, you can create any sample files. So here there is no share option. Either I have to upload in the drive. Okay. Otherwise, you can just fetch any text file, any file in current session. Okay. Okay. So this is all about simple read, write, append. Now, in case suppose you are trying to read some files, but that files are not present in your system or in your session, current session. So you should work with a exception. Means exception means what? Like suppose file is not there, you should provide some message or exception handling will be there, right? So this is done by try block, try and except block. So if there is an exception, it will display the message like file not found or some error is there, so it will execute the error, file does not exist, file not found error. And if it is not handled by that level, then exception will be there. So exception is handled by except block. So what exactly these all blocks and when we can use these all things? So suppose there is an error, like ensure your program can handle unexpected error, okay, without crashing. So when you use this try block, so there is no problem. And then debugging also easy for this, like display the message and you'll get to know like there is no file or some error is there. So just for handling exception, handling error, we can use try catch block. So for that, there's a keyword try we can use. So try is a keyword you can see here. Provide colon and come to the new line. Okay, so try. When we complete this with except, then this red line will erase. So what we want to try, we want to check whether file is present or not. And if file is present, then execute the content of the file. So for that, first we need to open that file. So the same process here we can do. First with keyword, then open any file, or let's take another file. Or you can use same file. If you want to take a file from the sample data, you can take, but they are very huge files. Like there are number of rows and columns. So that's why I have created this sample file just for demonstration. So here, open, this is the file which we want to open and provide one handle like this. So first line, now what to do when we open? So just we want to read the content. So content is just a variable name. In that variable we want to read the content. So content, from where we want to read the content, is there in that handle. So call that handle name and then provide the function. So here we want to read, so I'm using read function. And after reading, let's execute the content. So call print function and provide this variable which contain the file data. This is the thing. So this is the thing. Then if in case file is not there, then we have to be ready. We should be ready with exception. So here you can see except. There are different types of error, like file not found error. Like let's check. Okay. Like here you can see file exist error, file not found error, file configure loader, descriptor, and many more are there. So these are all technical part. As we are just looking, we are checking file existence. So we can select any of this. So let's select file not found error. And if this kind of error is there, then what to do? So here we can execute message like file is not present or file is not exist, something like this. This is one thing. Now, in case this error is not handled by this file not found error, then we can throw exception. So here I'm writing exception, just find exception. Yeah. Okay, here this is exception. So for this exception also we can create a small handle like E. So whenever we want that, we can call just by calling that E. If any exception is there other than file not found error, then we can use this exception and execute message. So let's use string formatting, or simply you can display message like we display in previous block. So here I'm writing let's got the error. So we can fetch that error here directly. That's it. So you can see here this red line means there is some error, and error is in indentation because we are trying to read this file. Okay, this first block is try. We are trying to read this file. So if this file is not present, then except it should be like here, like if else. Now it will work. So this is the content of the file, but in case I'm just changing name which is not exist in current session directory, I'm just changing here with 123, which is not there, right? So file is not exist. So if in case this error is not handled by the second step, then the third step will work. But here we are getting this message. Okay, so this last is what? This is like a generic message along with some actual exception message, and this definitely help in identifying what went wrong. Like that small e is the part will include the specific error message which is provided by that exception. Okay, so this is the thing. Now, as we are fetching different files and we are importing files in this environment, similarly we can interact with the operating system as we are working in a cloud, right? So we can handle through cloud different files we are fetching. But directly if you want to work with your operating system, then first you need to import OS. OS stands for operating system, like import OS. Why import? Why not install? Because it's already there, we just need to import. Similarly, when we want to work with some data manipulation, we need pandas library, we need numpy library. Okay, so no need to install these all libraries. Directly we can import these all libraries. Why? Because we are working with cloud, Google Colab, so these required libraries fulfilled, already installed in that environment. Okay. So similarly, this import OS means we are importing OS. Now with help of OS, either you can create directory, you can remove directory, you can same command which you run on Linux, like list directories. Okay, file is exist or not by using OS, that also you can see. So let's create mkdir, that is make directory. Here let's create ngs, execute. You can see here. Okay, this file, this folder is generated. Now once it is generated, and now if you don't want that, so again we can call OS and call remove directory, rmdir, mention the name. Now I think in ngs10 we don't have anything, so let's provide that name. Refresh and check. So this ngs10 is deleted from current session. Even if you want to check all files or subfolders, subfiles from any directory, then you can call OS and list directory or list dir, and inside bracket you can mention from which directory you want to check all list. Suppose we'll take this. Okay. So the file present in that we can see, and without file if we mention list directories, then system directories will get like, let me, okay, so these are all which are right now present along with the sample data. Now if we are looking for path, like that specific file is present by calling path of that file, so that also we can check by OS. Let's check. Suppose we are checking for file existence, so I'm writing here file exist as a new variable, and we are calling OS pathfinder or path exist. So which file or which folder we are looking, so let's use any file. Okay, suppose this file I want to check whether it is there, and if it is there, then what to do? Either you can display message if file exists, then you can display message like yes, file is there, or you can read the content of the file that we already done in previous example. So let's execute a message only. So if it is true, it will execute first block. If not, then it will switch to the next block. So there are two conditions we can use here, like file or file exist. So if file exists, why we are getting this file underscore exist? Because we are using function here, os dot path dot exist. So if it exists, then let's not execute the content of the file, just execute message file exist. But if not, then come to the else block and display one more message. File not exist or just not exist. Execute. Okay, so this file is there. That's why we are getting true answer for the first block only. And in case if let's change the name and then check, so it is not there. Even you can check in which current working, in which directory you are currently working. So current working directory by using os, like simply you need to call os get, let's check here, get current working directory. Okay, so this is the current working directory. Execute properly, like use print function. If you want to label, you can label what you want to print. So this is current working directory, and then fetch that variable. Suppose this is our current working directory. Okay, done. Now let's see how to use read plus or write plus and all this, append plus. So read plus basically this mode open file for both purpose, like for reading and writing. Okay, but for that the file must already exist in the session directory, then only you can read that, open and read, and after reading you can write. Okay, so for that let's create, suppose we want to open any file. So with, here I'm writing read plus with, first step is for open that file in the read plus mode, means read and write. Read plus means, let me write it here for your understanding, this is read and write. So let's open any file. So which file we have created here? Demo file some, or let's take hmm, this file we can take. Okay, so output.txt, and we are using this in the read plus mode. So mention mode r plus, use handle. Then time to read the content of the file, as we have already 3 lines in that. So again we need to create one variable to read the content. So use read function and then execute the content, whatever content is there. So this is our initial content, right? We have not changed anything, whatever existing content that we want to display. That's it. After that, if we use that this much only, then whatever content is there in this output file, we are able to read that. But along with reading we want to write as well. So here we can use file dot write mode. So you can write it here any new content, like, or a new content should be at a new line. So use first line separator, and this or let's write this line is added with read plus. Okay, so easy to understand. And there is one more thing, like when you want to use reading from start of the file, so you need to show that your cursor at the start of the file. So for that, or beginning of the file, for that there is one function. Whenever you open that file, always try to read from the start line. So for that there is a seek function, file dot seek. So that also we can use here. Start from initial and then read the content. Simply same thing we need to use here, read function and then updated content. So for that, let's execute message and then fetch that variable content again. That's it. So this way we can use read along with write. There is some error, output some spelling mistake. Okay, so this is the new line after using write. Right, in along with reading, this is updated content, this is the initial content. You can see this is initial content, only two lines are there. After updating or using write by using read plus, this is a new line. Okay, so read plus, okay, let's understand. Read plus mode, basically when you have an existing file, you can use that file and you can read the content of the file and also write new content. So read initial content of the file and then append a new content at the end of the file. And also you can move cursor to the beginning to read the updated content, that you can do. Now in write plus mode, in write plus, you can write first and then read. Like if file is exist, you can truncate this, and truncate means what? You can empty that file. But if file is not exist, then you have to create new file, then write the new content in that file, and then read from the beginning of that content. Okay, and in append plus, append is again for appending and reading. So if your file exists, you can append new content at the end of the file. If file is not there, then first you need to create that file, append the content to the file, and then read the content, entire content, including appending part. Okay, so these are different modes in Python. You can try different modes like this, uh, read along with write, along with append, everything. Or just for practice, I'll give one assignment. You can try this. First, you can open one file, okay, new file by the name 1.txt. This is the name of the file. Fine. In that file, by using write mode, you can use write mode and write some content, whatever you want, anything, 2 3 lines. Okay, and then just close the file. This is the first step. Now in second step, uh, what you want to do, you can again open the file which we already created, that is nothing but 1.txt. Whatever content in that file, you can copy the content, okay, and create new file 2.txt. In that you can paste all the content. Means first you need to open for 1.txt. So you can open this in read mode. Okay. So after reading, read all content, and then write into 2.txt. Okay. Now in third step, delete, or for delete you can use better, as we already learned os. So use os plus os dot remove function and delete 1.txt. So whatever file, the file which you have right now, that is 2.txt with the same content which you have initially written in that 1.txt. Okay, try this. Okay, let me show one more thing. Like here we have used this OS, and the same OS we can use directly through the system. Let me share the screen for that. So here, if I'll search your command prompt, can you see my screen? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So if you see here, there's a command prompt and also Python 3.12. Okay. So when you click on command prompt, you can see such kind of black window. So here also you can execute same commands. Same means which we have executed, like if you want to check files or check directories. So these all things. Suppose let's first use import. Okay, import, we'll see. So for that, just a minute, or let's check only system information. So suppose here I'm writing system info. Okay, that's it. System info is the command to check system information. If I'll press enter, it will load and we can see the system information. Like this is my system related information. You can see these all details. The same thing we can do here, but here we cannot directly use system information. So for that, what we need, let me write. If we'll do like this, system info. Here, this black window is Python 3.12. You can see here. Then it is not possible. So first we need to import OS because we have to interact with operating system. So for that we need import OS, enter. Then we can use that OS. Similarly, we use in right now in Google Colab. So use OS, then call system, and then check the system information. So the same command here I'm writing system info. That's it. Okay, here you'll get the system information, same thing. But what we required this importing step, import OS. Even if you want to check directories, so now we need to import first OS, then system, and here you can call dir for directories. So you'll get these directories present through operating system. But in command prompt, no need to use OS. Directly you can check directories. Okay, like call dir, that's it. These are directories present in system. So this is the difference. Like when we are using other platform or environment, we need to import operating system to work with that file, operating system existing files. Okay. So first, when we use os.system system info, so system info is Windows command, which provide all detailed configuration or computer hardware information, software information. And when you run this with Python script, first that prompt will open and then display the information. Similarly for directories. So that's it. What was the issue? I found a message as not recognized as an internal or external command operable program. In command prompt, you just need to type system info. Let me control Z. You can try control Z.
Ma'am, good evening, ma'am.
Yes. Now
Yeah,
what?
sorry to interrupt you. Actually, I am receiving system information. Other than that, I try some other commands.
Huh?
So I have to find some file. So I am trying it. I was trying it, but it is not coming, not showing this message is coming. What to do? How to
Okay.
fix this issue? Yeah, that was my query.
Okay. Okay. Uh, so you're not getting
The
means what?
file information. Yeah, exactly the path of the file.
Okay. So first, I think executable file like .exe, .bat, or .cmd files. That files first, you need to check whether they are inside the C drive or directory path is there or not. Okay, maybe that, or you can restart the command prompt and run again the command. That might be the resolve the issue. So most of the time, this type of issues occurs when some executable files are not there in that directory, which are listed as a path environment variable. So that might be the reason. So one thing you can do, either you can use location directly. So by using cd, you can go to the path to your program files and then execute the command or the files if you want to check some missing file. Some missing files are there with the dot. Okay, just try that. Or
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
thank you. So see you tomorrow then at the same time with new topic. Yeah, bye.